Hello, how y'all doing? This is Adams-Oyenuga. Now we're back again to our another topic, beautiful topic, which a lot of people are gonna be like, wow, I always wondered what that meant. Well, yes. Remember, I don't give beliefs. I share hypothesis, truth, but giving an hypothesis in a way that's hypothetical. Otherwise, if you give somebody like, yeah, this is it, they'll be like, oh yeah, they think they know, they don't know, they're believers. Okay, so I say, yeah, hypothetical, but open heart. In the Bible, there's a story of the prodigal son, the prodigal. Y'all remember that? The son who left home and squandered all the money and then came back. And the father threw a big event party for him. And he said, this is my son. I'm so proud of him. Why? And then the one that was home that never left got really jealous, right? It's like, I've been here all along. Hmm? How come? How come? You don't give me the same glory. And then the father said, I love you. But look at this guy. Let me tell you, I'm interpreting it in a mystical manner, the way I understand it. You see, oftentimes all of us, all of humanity, in fact, all of us were their prodigal son. All of us, unfailingly. As I know it. It's a mistake, okay? You do your own search, find your own truth in meditation. We all are prodigal sons and daughters and sisters. Why? In the beginning of time, most of us don't remember, but one can remember this in meditation. You remember when Mother, the existence, called us all. When I say us, the souls, individual souls. And then she said, can you do me a favor? We're like, of course, Mother, we love her. She said, can you all just pretend like I'm not around and then you're by yourself? And we're like, Mom, for anything. We should have asked. How long is it going to take? Are we going to get really lost in that story? We didn't ask out of love. And this is how I understand, knowing what happened to humanity. We are still in the universal ocean. You can't leave no fish can leave the ocean, but the fish can forget it's part of the ocean. And from that day on, that fish will suffer. Why? It's going to be thirsty. It's going to be miserable. Where's the water? And we were like, look, there's water around you. That's the dilemma of us mystics. Everybody's looking for God, looking for this soul. And I'm like, what do you... People are like, I don't mean to laugh, but some of this is just, like I said, humor. People are like, God, where is... And I'm like, when it turns dark at night, all the darkness, what do you think that is? You're like, no, what do you know? That blackness, that's God, that's the universe. What do you think scientists are looking for dark matter? When you turn off the light, what goes? The dark. Light needs something. Anything you see in the universe is created. The background is a void, is a space I speak about. I speak from. A space. It's always empty, always silent. Always silent. Everything is contained in it. That's who we are. So imagine that blackness pretending to have left the original blackness. It's impossible. But the dream is what brought us here. We are prodigal children. We have forgotten who we are. Collectively, unfortunately. Otherwise, 2 or 3 people not forget. That's fine. We can always. But almost all humanity, very few. That is prodigal. But whenever a human being wakes up from the Maya, what does it mean to wake up? It means suddenly your eyes open. It could be through meditation, love making, whatever. Spiritual practice, legal that you practice. And suddenly your eyes, right? The sun is shinier. When I say like plants, I'll touch the plant. And people will be like, why you they probably think I'm on drugs. I'm like, no. Things look greener to me. It's green. Look at that green. That's what it feels like to be human. You see things are clearer. Then you see you never left home. This is it. This is it, my friends. I'm not sorry, because I'm here to. I got to carry the rose and the sword. That's my way. Sword and the rose. Okay, y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay, good. Huh? So, truth. Say it. As much as we can. With love. With love. We are the prodigal children. And then we're looking. So when we suddenly remember, oh, this is darkness. Darkness is who we are on the soul level with blue, black. Anybody who has ever seen the soul, you see the soul is like blue. You never see. What happens to blackness when it gets blacker and blacker? It becomes bluish. Beauty. Huh? But it's blackness. That's what you see in the blackness. That's it. Expand it to infinity. And that's it. And we're in it. And we're looking for it. Humanity. When are we going to wake up? And just dance in the dark. That's what the ancients did. That's why most humans at that time were more or less awake. Not to this level. Today, I don't mean to make fun, but I mean I have to speak truth. This is my duty. My work, not duty. They're so lost in their mind. What does it mean to be lost in one's mind? Maybe I should clarify that. When one is lost in one's mind, one is not present here now with the universe, when one is lost in imagination. The promise of a better future. Memories of the past, the good old days. They create hell. Why? Because the past is never as good as it seems. We just have bad memories. We eulogize people. I always say most autobiographies are lies. People say, why you say that? I'm saying I'm a mystic. And I can read them. I'm like, no. If this life was so beautiful, would have been a Buddha from a young age. No, lies. But not conscious lies. Imaginations look so good. Remember back in the day when we used to play, do this and that, and then if you go back with them, you're like, huh? You are miserable. But they don't remember the misery anymore. It's one of the conditions of the human mind. To be lost in that is to be asleep. What else can you call it? The constant mind going, subconscious going. It's nothing but hell. Anybody who's ever had this gives you migraine. People understand. People don't understand this. People think great thinkers think a lot, right? That makes sense. If you're gonna be a great thinker, you think the most. No way. People that think a lot, they go crazy. If you want to think somebody that's thinking a lot, look at the madman in your village or in your town. Those are the geniuses. You know what? You get my point. Yeah, I'm joking. Because their mind is not stopping. And because it's non-stop, they start saying it. You're like, wow. Okay. Witty. Hopefully you don't make fun, but witty, we call them witty. In America, they call them mad. Mad is beautiful word. Witty is really say something. Yeah. Witty. Oh, nobody wants to be witty. Witty? No. Americans think it's cool. Not in that country, no. If you say witty to somebody, they want to kill you. Because basically you call them madman. And they've seen one around the corner. They say, that's what you're calling me? Oh shit. They want to kill you. So, witty. But I'm not making fun, honestly. I hope people don't think I'm making fun. I just speak truth as I know it. Simple man. Forgive me if I sound just a simple man. The language of a simple man. So that that's the madness. To be a clear thinker. And people think the average engineer, doctor, I'm like, those are scientific at best. A scientist can be trained. You think scientifically, you check things out. But to be a clear thinker, when I say clear, there's no clouds. Most people look at the world through the clouds, their vision. That's where racism exists. Otherwise, if the clouds go lift your eye, you're like, oh, another human, another soul. The lighter skin or darker skin. Oh, come join me for dinner. But when the clouds are there, all you see is enemy. You're like, what? I don't hate you. No, you're my enemy. They're lost in Maya. They're lost in the sleep. We are all cosmic beings. We are all infinite beings. But we play the game of humanity. But we're not meant to forget who we are. So this is part of what I share in private sessions, and what I hope I can assist more and more people who are willing, those who are interested, to be able to be human as one can be. With all his faults, all his tendencies. We're human. I make mistakes. The Remember, anybody tells me they're infallible, I know that's an arrogant son of a bitch. We're all fallible. We make mistakes. We're human. But no matter what, one never loses touch with it. Not ancestral side, your own being. Soul. The soul is one. That's how we're created. We're designed. That's why we're called human beings. Most humans have forgotten the being part. They're not even human anymore because to me, at least human can reason, can at least be rational. What do you see today? Is there any rationality? In fact, now I just expect it. People say something and they're worried and they want to. I'm like, looking at the person, why are you worried about this? They're like, but this is not right. I'm like, yeah, you think you live in the same world. They're like, what? I said, no. Every day I say, I'm in an insane asylum. Then things make sense. Think about it. People doing something over and over again and it's not working. And you're looking at them. You're like, how long are you going to keep doing this? And I keep doing it. What else are you going to cut that? You're going to be like, wow, this is insanity. You're like, what? What are you doing? It never worked 1,000 years ago. Why do you think it will work now? I just need a little more effort. Try something new. Innovation. So at least be innovative. But in the silence, in the places, in the spaces where there's silence, where no thought arises, this is who we are. In that silence, the more silent this is, the mind, the wiser and the more intelligent. And for the first time, one can think. Otherwise, think of you have a room with many furniture. That's thoughts are like furniture. You have a crowded room. How are you gonna think? You try to think. You're like, I sit on the table or sit on the chair. You can't think. And that's how we clear the room. That's why in an ideal world, hopefully I have the finances and the money, the funds, now in the future, where you can. I can create and there's a couple of schools like examples. Children are raised in meditation. My goodness, every child is a meditator. They know how to be present. Watch a child. When they play, they exhaust themselves. They go lie down. You're like, what are you doing? Nothing. We're like, you're lying. The child is being truthful. But adults have lost touch with that, unfortunately. What a tragedy. The child knows how to the wonders of the sky. Or whatever. This laptop, unfortunately. It's a crazy world we live in. But a child that loses, I'm so grateful I was born when I was born. My goodness, playing with the sand. That's how you grow your intelligence. People don't understand it. People think about studying in universities. I always laugh at people. Like, I've been in the universities. I keep talking about it, not because I hate those people, but we have to expose them. No learning is going on there. They're just the same shit from the past. This is what this guys call education. Broken system. It never worked from the start. And you try to tell them, they're like, no, what do you know? They might even be a little racist. They might have that sneer. Yeah? Or they might not be racist. They might just think they know it all. You're like, but I read something there. You think you know everything. I'm just saying, check it out. That's working. What you're doing is not working. What else is science? If it's not working, forget about it. Like the Italians would say, drop it. But no, this libraries, you go there, the really good books, you have to blow through the dust. You may even start sneezing all day long because nobody reads those books anymore. Or the ones that really contain truth, they have somewhere on the underside. I mean, this book should be in the middle of the library. But those are the ones that are put aside. Why? Those ones contain truth. And they'll provoke your mind, your intelligence. And that's what the people that run this planet, the so-called controllers, that's what they want. Unfortunately, they have too much power. They're losing it. We have to re-educate our children. A child that maintains the presence. Only such an adult or child can think clearly, because now one thought comes. Now there's room for it. And you can look at it. Oh, you can really think clearly and intelligently. Like, oh yeah. Otherwise, it's a crowd. Most people say. You try to have a conversation with them, it's virtually impossible. 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 You're like looking in their eye. There's no more. I mean, I talk a lot. Everybody knows I talk a lot. But I'm here. I just talk. But what are you doing? Make up. Are you going to eat? Are you going to talk? Are you going to do both? At least make up your mind. This is creating such a messier. Not to make fun of anybody, just truth. It's about coming to the present moment. And that's what universe, the prodigal son, we're all there. All of us are. We all left. At least we thought we did. Until the awakening. And this is the first one. Suddenly like, oh, mother around darkness. Oh, I love you. Mother, you want to embrace darkness. I've spent about 14, 15 years, just to be honest. Sometimes hours. I would just stay in the darkness. That's one of the greatest initiations. Go to the pyramids. And now I can reveal these things. Before you had to keep this kind of things secret. But now we can talk about that, and I'm sharing like a little secret. In Japan, for example, people will go crazy. You know what they do to them? They will put them in a dark room. It looks mean. It looks like inconsiderate. But guess what? All of our madness is because of a fear. You imagine the gorilla, oh, snake coming, they're gonna kill me. All that stuff. Living man, put a little window there. So you can give them food and banana. No matter how crazy, when they get hungry, they'll look for the banana, they'll eat it. Some kind of food to keep there, but nothing too much so that they don't fall asleep. They have to be alert, and food can make one heavy. Part of why I'm vegetarian I share. Nobody has to be vegetarian, but if you can be, because it makes the body lighter and easier to expand. Otherwise, the heavy food makes the body heavier. It's possible, but it's more difficult. What's I talking about? I forgot my point. Anyway, the purpose is so that people can realize that awakening and all of it is all in congruence. It's all tantamount. It's possible, not just possible, very likely and very doable for all of us. No matter who we are, no matter how we are, no matter our class. Because all that doesn't matter to the universe. Only humans care about that. What class are you? How much money? Universe is, who cares? Universe cares about how open are you. Because universe wants to enter open heart. And if you're blocked with the ego, saying you king of it all, universe will say, come on, I can give you more than this. But we humans, we're stupid. We think being a king, if I can be emperor of the world, you're wasting your life. You die and realize you just wasted a whole life. Because that's a wastage. Wasted, absolute wastage. Don't believe what I'm saying. If some people don't believe me, that I'm going to watch this video and they say, Lua is crazy, wait till you die. You'll be like, what the fuck did I do? Because all that stuff is like you're decorating your house. Throughout your whole life, decorating the house from outside, painting it, when the whole house is just... And then when you die, you take the whole inside with you. And they're like, why you smell so much? You're like, I smell what? I'm like, pink. You know, well, you stink. What is the stink? The stink is ego. The smell of knowing it all. The smell of anger. Lack of patience. All that so that we all have as humans. We all do. But those have to be held at a boundary point. That's what I call it in my teaching. Make sure you have so much space in your being. Part of what it means to be in a Christ consciousness is you're so spacious. Because the more space one has, no dirt can come near you to float around in the radius. Why? Because the frequency in that area is high. And it's not about boasting, it's not about, it just means one is just here now. And truthful, that's all. When I say truthful, I don't mean honest. I don't mean you have to tell everybody you meet, oh, by the way, you know, guess who stole that money? That was, no, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you should be like, yeah, I hated you. No, truth means how are you feeling in this moment? That's what I call true prayer. These are simple techniques anybody can do. And we've turned the spiritual path to something so absurd. No, for once, I tell my friends, be truthful to the universe. Say, universe, sometimes I hate you. Sometimes I feel left alone. Whatever it is for you, say it. The universe already can see it. If you can say that, you join the universe in oneness. Make sense? Because now the perception is now one. Otherwise we lie, we cover, we try to hide who we are from the universe. Hello? Is that possible? Is that having a mirror all over the room and you think you can hide anywhere? The mirror is who we are, is the mother. She just wants us to say, Mother, yes, I've become. She wants to know, who have you become in your journey? When I say who have you become, from the level of presence, we are all soul, we are all bright, shiny beings. But a lot of us in the human incarnation, what we've done, including myself, how did you become that? The angry, violent, vengeful. How did you? The universe sees it all. The universe has compassion. Otherwise, of course, based on what You felt over there, of course you turn out like this. This is when one begins to become compassionate for the first time. Begin to see people on a bigger, deeper level. And like that person that we all condemning, the thief, the this and that, the bastard, look at how they grew up. Of course. And then you can have compassion for the first time. For some of us in the first time. You're like, wow, okay, I won't judge you anymore. I will just say, okay, no wonder. But not from it, but love. And if I can assist that person, then you can assist them. If you can't, you let them go. But the very holy, how could you? I'm like, really? How could you? That's why I love when Christ said, he or she who hasn't sinned, let them cast a stone. Oh, nobody can. Who was going to? Because we are all fall short. Human, no matter how divine. The average Christian wants to paint Jesus, Christ, as he never got angry. There was a song I used to hear when I was young. Mo fẹ́ kí n dàbí Jésù nínú ìwà pẹ̀lẹ́. Kò sẹ́ni tó gbọ́rọ̀ bínú lẹ́nu rẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan rí. Lẹ́nu rẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan rí. Lẹ́nu rẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan rí. Whatever. My voice, I need to drink something. The song, for those who don't speak Yoruba, that beautiful poetic language of Kemet, is I want to be like Jesus. And I used to love that song, but more I'm like, why? Don't sing that song. Because A, it's not true, and B, it was made up. How is that possible? His whole life, walk around water. It's too good to give a dysentery. It will give you diabetes. Eat too much sugar. It's mad. It's like goodness, spotting rainbows, walking on water. It's like pull him down. Let him. No, I'm as a mystic. I can speak from experience. I said no. I cannot imagine. No, why would you do that? Why would somebody who says he's awake do that? No, you're honest. When a truly present being is angry, everybody can know because you are totally into it, not lost in the anger. So everybody's afraid of anger. I'm going to make videos on that, how to master anger. Because anger is never the obstacle, but to get lost in it. See, I had to work hard on this because I was born with tremendous anger. Maybe because I come from a warrior caste, warriors, I don't know, warrior kings. But my goodness, anger, the rage. My mom, she may watch this video. I don't know. Maybe I'll send it to her. I probably will. She might find it interesting. She used to be like, my biggest fear, you may kill somebody. So I know it. I was like, my goodness, I would just, never got blind, thank goodness. But I would get so mad. But there are reasons for that. Maybe I'll share in the future for that. But the anger is there. And I had to really meditate, be very present, and express anger. You have to be really careful. It's like an art. Find a way to express anger while still remaining present. Only a warrior can do that. This used to be taught to warriors. Today we don't have warriors anymore. People have warriors who are just angry people who kill everybody, destroy the planet. They're stupid, they're foolish. They're not true warriors. The true warriors are awake. Might even carry a sword like Muhammad. I love Muhammad. Oh, what a great soul. Only the greatest can carry a sword. The average would not, because it doesn't look good. You are saying you're awake and you carry a sword, you look ugly. But being like Muhammad said, give me that sword. You want to kill me? Okay. Yes, let's not be foolish. So spiritual will become stupid and unpractical. You have to be, on earth. These people want to kill you. Okay. Give me the biggest gun, the sword. I don't want this, but let's get it, just in case. See, a lot of people give Muhammad trouble. They're like, oh, God, so judgmental. I can't believe it. How you carry the sword. I'm like, really? Do you know what was going on when he was alive? How dare you? Not because I feel better than them, but the children. I'm like, he lived in the battleground. In the Middle East, up to today, who are the warriors? These are the Aryans, the true Aryans, the warrior people. You want to be all peaceful, good, you'll last for 1 month. If everybody forget about your race, then you got to carry a sword. And a poor man, when you share truth, most people some don't want to hear. My experience is a lot of people want to hear. Often it's the powerful ones who hate it. The ones who are taking advantage. They are the ones that say, because they know the truth. They know. They're like, oh, that person is exposing it. They start going after that person. And Muhammad, a mystic, you're born to speak truth, no matter what. Otherwise, I wouldn't respect the man so much. I'll be like, Muhammad, I like, but no, I respect. So carry sword. Why are you preaching, talking about peace? Islam means peace. That means he must have said, it's like his flag, peace. But they keep coming closer with their arrows, and it's going peace. At the point you got to, okay, these people, let's show them that we're not. Yeah, mouse. I tell my friends, don't be peaceful like a mouse. It's not worth anything. Might as well just forget about it. Be peaceful as a lion. When a lion lies down and says peace, everybody is peaceful because you know. What's to be peaceful, mouse? Of course you're gonna be peaceful. You're a mouse. I tell them, people say, oh, is that arrogant? I'm like, if people call that arrogant, so be it. People always throw that around. So everybody's afraid, or they want to be called arrogant. Call me arrogant. I don't care. Because I'm not going to play that game. Don't let anybody threaten you with the fear of arrogance. They are the ones that are. Often the people that call you their name, watch them. Whatever anybody calls you, look at them. That's who they are. Don't say anything. Just say, oh, maybe I'm arrogant. But look, so many possibilities in me. That's what you see? Yeah, we're all mirrors. Damage? Don't worry about it. You just speak truth. And that's what Muhammad did. And in that time, now I don't have to carry a gun, whatever. Who knows? But for now, no. You have to. So we go because, it's a different energy. And all these kids in university campuses, this professor type with their bow tie, looking all nerdy. I'm like, relax, dude. I can't believe Muhammad went to war. I'm trying to imitate their nasal voice, the so-called heady ones. I'm like, speak like a man from your belly. Now, I'm an intellectual. I'm like, but you can be your body. Forgive me, I love to make fun of because I want to put them, not to dehumanize them, but to make them human. Because they walk like gods. And people are like, oh, Professor so said that. No, that's when I think twice. What? Who told you, Professor? Oh, I don't believe it. Before tell me a farmer said it. Or a simple man. How are those people be? The most beautiful. They're honest. Unfortunately, they get taken advantage of because they don't have the education. They're simple. If they tell you, you know. Wise. Well, those professors, they so-called the priest type, those are the ones I'm always like, I could be in a room full of clocks, and they tell me the time. I'll say, let me look, because they are the ones that play the games mostly. Not all of them, thank goodness. But people think there's politics. You ain't seen nothing. Come to academic campuses. It was difficult for me to survive. Maybe I'll go back to it, but I'm not built for politics very well. Fortunately or unfortunately, it is what it is. Otherwise, I would. The political game, man. I just want to speak truth. Over here, and you come in trouble sometimes. But I'm not saying I'm better. So it's a gift. I'm political, but it's not my priority. I can be political, and over there you have to kiss ass, smile at people you don't like. Hey, how you doing? Hey, Professor. Yes, the big guys. You're lying. When people start praising me too much, I'm like, oh, okay. Guess why? You don't realize. I'm not against people praising, but let it be from the heart. But professors, they know the game. They're tricky people. They'll trick you. You think they're your best friend before they put a knife to you. Before you know you lost your job. You're like, how did this happen? They don't want you because you dare to speak the truth. So those of you that are interested in academia, I would say I hope you have a political side to your personality. You can play the game. Don't play it too much. Don't enjoy it too much because you'll give up truth. See? So maybe truth or be diplomatic. I'm not very good at it. You can't learn that stuff. Since I was a child, I know people will say, "Oh, shake my head." No, because I go with my heart. Heart to me is key. If it doesn't feel right, I'm shaking my heart to say no. That's my way of saying my heart to say no. You have to be like that to be able to experience truth. To something maybe not as stubborn as me, but you're gonna try because everybody opinions. Everybody has an opinion. Somebody who's probably homeless or whatever is going on is telling you where to put your money. I'm like, what? Somebody who's all kinds of opinions. Somebody who never left their house. Then you have to live in a different state. I'm like, wow, okay, thank you. And I'm walking around going, wow, I just got advice by that guy on that topic. He or she has their own genius on that topic. So you gotta be, to some extent. People say they are stubborn and they feel sad. I always say, don't feel too bad. Because stubbornness is like a coin. Two-sided coin. It can work for you or against you. The trick is to know when to be stubborn and when not to be. That's the art. It's hard to teach it. But let me just share. If something in your heart, like you know it, We all get that feeling. It just isn't. It's like a noise. The heart is telling you. We don't listen. Listen to that. It's never failed me. It doesn't. It doesn't. Because it's your soul telling you. And to not listen is to, fortunately, sad. This kind of topics make me a little sad. Why do I feel sad? People are like, what do you care? Because, you know, the burial place where people bury their dead. To me, okay, I'll confess in public. One of my greatest joy is to walk through the burial grounds. I think every mystic likes it. Even as a child, somebody died, I'll be curious. Like I'll be thinking in my head, should I go? Because that is when you see people for who they are. It's all gone. Unfortunately, I didn't have access. But for me, I would read about it. I think every mystic is born curious about death, just to be honest. Because I don't think it's peculiar to me. I've met many mystics. It's the death thing. Wow. The death is the biggest teacher. Once you faced it, you will never be the same again. If somebody who's living alive today, talking, boasting about tomorrow, you just look at their body. It's gone. It's gone. They're gone. They're there. Anybody, no matter how atheist, they may lie to you. Let them lie. I don't believe in God. Tell them, yeah, me neither. Oh, don't lie. Just let them go. It's just their head. You can see it. The being is gone. The body is here. And unfortunately, most of us relate to each other, body to body, row to row. It's tragic. Tragic. That means your father, oh, my dad, my mom, my cousin, my aunt. Oh, be more than that. You could see the souls. The whole thing is, one becomes aware of it, many dimensions. Now you can see, oh, my brother and sister, that's why they came into my life. Oh, thank you. Then they can appreciate you too. Oh, thank you for playing this role in my life. Because a family, I'll make videos on this because I want to expose, not expose, share with the world. This thing so that people can relax. Everywhere I go, people are in tremor. Tremor, shaking. Not physically, you may miss it. But the more one meditates, you don't miss anything. You don't miss it. Because you're here, you're being like, they may not know because you're cracking jokes. Ha! Look at that. Ha ha! You won't laughing loudest. But even in the laughter, you're watching. And then you see it. Why are they shaking? There's nervousness. And you realize everybody's afraid of one thing. Death. Death. And the irony of life is only he or she who has faced death. It doesn't have to be one's death. It's best if it's one's own death. Because now you go through it. That's what I wish for everyone. While still alive to experience death, you will never be the same. Imagine somebody dies next to you. You would never. I have I call him my cousin, just to put a little story. I like putting stories. It makes it more personal. People love that because we all. Otherwise, I'm just this teacher, detached. No. In it. Wow. I never said this in public, but I said it. Maybe his family one day will. David, my brother. I call him my cousin, and he died pretty young. I don't think they'll mind this because it was a pretty open people, and if they do, I'll take it down from Facebook, from YouTube, but I don't think they mind. He was like a brother to me. When he died, it shook me. It shook me on many levels. We were close. We had a small business, even though I'm a professor. I also like business, maybe because I come from a family of business people. But he's more like a warrior king, but he also has a business. So I would like do a little business here and there, with him, insurance. We got close, when you're building a business, you have to pay the people who sleep in the office. Those days. Trying to build that business. We weren't very good at it, just to be honest. We did our best. So, I'm a mystic. That's more my interest and intellectual. Well, I did my best. He could have been successful, but he was a good businessman, that guy. He was a genius. But he had life. Because as a mystic you can see people's gifts. And so that's why I went to business with him. I always like to go to business with people that are really good business. People who hold that frequency, the archetype. Because it's an energy. You can't teach it too much. Businessman is bored. You can put them in the worst country. Everybody's suffering. You find them, they own a small kiosk at least. because they know it's an intelligence. You can see it was. Unfortunately, it's not the biggest. I have a little of it, but not as much as some people. That's their call. So he had it for the health. And when he died, I'm not going to say too much because I don't know how much his family will be okay. But we had this beautiful conversation. Maybe I shouldn't have mentioned his name. I'll just say his name is Henry. Let's change his name to Musa. His name is Musa. Yeah, his name is Musa. Just to keep it secrecy. So anyway, he died. And when I went to his burial, of course I've been facing that. I think I even had a death experience before that. I think I probably had. No, it wasn't yet. It was almost my first significant awakening. Well, around that time, you can't really remember. I don't think I didn't have any significant awakening there. I was there, but not like now. So I went. When I saw his body, his dead body, very charismatic guy, walks around, handsome and tall. He was David that I knew was gone. The shock to me. Of course, I wept because I loved the guy. It was like a brother. He became like a brother. Because my family is not here, like even like I have my beautiful family, but his whole family became my family. It was like my brother. When I saw his body, I said, "My goodness, wow, this is gone." There are other things he told me before he died. I don't want to broadcast that. Maybe another time. Maybe if I have his brothers, then I might say it. But for now, let's say only this much. And he was gone. That I will never do the same again. I actually think it was part of my awakening process because it became. I mean, of course, I was already in that space, but when I saw it, and I just said, I have to go deeper into this thing. It's like it pushes you. Even though I was such a sick, just look, I have to dig deeper because I have to know who I am fully before this happens to me. It's why people avoid death. Seeing dead bodies. People don't want to be reminded of their mortality. Unfortunately, I feel like we should build mortuaries in the middle of the city. Only a mystic would say this. It's true. In fact, I'm pretty sure in the old times it was probably the way. Build it. Let people remember. All this greed will disappear. Honestly, the greed, all the stuff. Because people on some level, not consciously, mystic, you can see in sessions, they're looking for immortality. They think they can be rich enough where they can buy themselves. That's the ego. It will never happen. You could be the richest, own your whole planet, you still feel empty. Why? You haven't gone where the work really matters. I'm not against money. Of course, I like money. Anybody knows I wear a ring. I like money. But the soul's journey, that's what we take with us. If one can somehow master doing both, yes, you've made the money. Yes, because we need money. The practical world. Those who deny the reality of it, they will suffer. They may be enlightened, but they will not have money. Which is a whole kind of suffering. It's not. It matters less to them because they are so away. But at the same time, when you don't have a home, you don't have food, you feel it. No matter how spiritual you think you are, you'll be like, oh, my body is hungry. It doesn't feel good, right? Yeah. So why go through that when you can have food and have a home? So to me, it's like what I share is no need to go to the Himalayas or to the desert again. We've done that. We've done that. And part of what I was born to share, part of everybody has their own mission, is I want to share a simple way where you can be an ordinary man. I'm as ordinary as they come. Spending a day with me, you will know this guy is the most. Not because I'm ordinary to me. Everybody wants to be extraordinary. I don't know why. Why would you? Even that dress colorful. People sometimes they're like, you're always looking for attention because you look very colorful. This color to me is just an expression of my love. It's like a bird, like a female bird, and now they have colors. That's all. It's not about me anymore at all. That boy, the one, that kid, died. Dead. Part of why I changed my name, to be quite honest. Because some people wonder. Suddenly that name, I couldn't respond to it anymore after my first death experience. It was delicious. I'd be like, who are you talking about? Not because some being, some spirit came into me, but it's like, oh, that's past, that's gone. It's now I am here. And this is what we are all born to experience. Christ, Jesus was just Jesus. But when he met his guru, he got baptized and he came out of the water. A new man, a new being. For the first time he could see. Such a beautiful soul. gentle being. And for the first time, he said, wow, the more one's heart open, you're going to want to do something. You will. If you're a speaker, look at Muhammad with the sword. He could have just said, okay, kill me, I already found the truth anyway. Because once one finds the truth, you know your work is done. Everything else is just hanging around. Every moment, that's why it's so precious. Wow, I'm still here. Wow, this is beautiful. So for him to have said, let me stay here longer with it to survive the sword, only a compassionate man would do that, a woman. Otherwise, would have just said, shoot me to death, I already found the truth. But when the heart opens, you look around, you're like, my goodness, people are so miserable. Even those who have so much. Wow. How can somebody be driving such a big car and comes up? Like, wow. But then you look deeper, or they might be coming client or student, and you realize that, wow, they haven't done what the main thing. The main thing is know thyself. Egyptians in the mystery schools, from a very young age, 7 years old, often they will gather the child, start training with us. By the 21, the child is into mysteries. By the time he or she's ready to work, by 28 years old, you are apprentice. First of all, the Egyptians. What happened to us? I remember this because I remember my past lives. Wow, the Egyptians. We know this. Every child will be raised. Every 7 years initiation. 7 years old, and now you're going to give it some, not really the truth, 7 years. Most of what we call religion today is what we used to teach people at 7 years old. Be like, oh, thou shalt not do this. All those commandments, they're for children. They're for 7-year-olds, 9-year-olds. You gotta don't kill because they don't know yet. The more one wakes up spiritually, you kill somebody? Oh my goodness. You wouldn't even cross your mind. Unless your life is in danger, you might defend. But even then, you will do your best not to kill them. The true warrior never wants to kill. I tell you, if you want to know a true warrior, you never want to kill. You always want to disarm them. But the compassion. If somebody dies accidental, it's never the intention. These are the real warriors. They could kill you. Don't be mistaken. Yes. One strike. They know where to stop your blood flow. They just but they will never do it because they know better. Because if you kill somebody and it wasn't in self-defense, you've broken the cosmic law. Life moves towards creativity and you've cut it. So they will no. They know better. Well, if it happens, they know universe knows the truth. I didn't mean to. It just happened. They pushed me. And out of the person died. Universe forgives that because you did your best. Nobody's perfect. But to go out this, I'm gonna kill. Only a blind person will do that. Blind. Otherwise, why? No, please, let's not go there. People begging each other. I don't want to fight you. You don't want to fight me. Okay, we good, right? When humans become like that kind of intelligent, war will disappear. When people start knowing, you just know, not from being told. You just know better. You'll be reluctant to go to war. Now, little fight, people take swords. Like, really? Machine gun everywhere. Like, wow. It was just an argument. Yeah, crazy people. In America, it's a lot, right? Gun lover. I'm not against gun, like I said. I'm a practical man. But some people love their guns more than their children. That's when it's out of hand. Love your gun, fine. You may even have a little wedding ceremony in your gun. That's fine. But at least love humans too. Some people, I'm like, okay, that person is missed their way. It's a dangerous person. Otherwise, guns. Oh, in the hand of an intelligent person, and a knife. People act as if knives can become a weapon. Or somebody who knows. You have a gun, you will never shoot it. But somebody, yeah, you can. Yes, I'm not against, but defense. Unfortunately, America has the Department of Defense. Department of Defense. I'm like, what a joke. Most of the so-called defense, they attack before. They call it preemptive strike. That's the new name for it. I'm like, how are you going to justify murder? You think they're going to attack. What if they never attack you? Oh, but we knew. You're lying. It's a lie. Most times it's a bloody fucking lie. They weren't coming in. But because they want to cheat the masses out of their money, they want to get more taxes, they say they're coming. Yes, they're going to come attack us. They know they're not coming. But people say, but you said they're going to come. Then what you're gonna do, because you've been saying they're gonna come, they never came. Now you're gonna say, let's go attack them because they're coming. See, this is, I know the politicians. I've been a politician in many lives. Just this lifetime, I came with minimum because I see what it does. That's part of why I came in with little, not devoid of it, but not too much. Otherwise, otherwise, truth is gone. You start too many. Okay, I shouldn't say that over there. Before you go speak in public, you look at the audience. Okay, I'm not going to say that. Before you know it, your whole teaching is just lies. Not because you are bad, it's just because you spoke it. No, I speak the same way to peasants, to kings. If I ever one day get, I'll speak just like this. This is the way. Then you're constant. Not because you know it all, or you're being yourself. That's it. Just speak one way. That's it. Sometimes you can put a little politeness and diplomacy there, but be careful. Make sure you don't corrupt the truth. That's part of why I respect the Buddha. The Buddha, ha! What a master. The Buddha, those who don't know Buddhism, the founder of Buddhism, wow. That man must have been a warrior class, definitely. Uncompromising. That's why it's been very difficult to cheat Buddhist texts, because he was a great philosopher, awake. He spoke truth directly. There's no way you could twist it. Muhammad is a poet. Christ, the priests, they're cunning. They find ways of twisting everything. Jihad, for example. Jihad is an internal, it's not like a war like people say. Jihad just means the inner conflict sometimes. Be or not to be. To go, should I cheat or not? Then you follow the wrong way. They're like, oh, that was wrong. And that's finding the balance between so-called right and wrong, and finding the space. That is jihad. And he or she who has mastered this level, and then it doesn't mean suddenly you're perfect. You still might make mistakes, but your best is to find truth. You're committed to truth in the middle. You make errors, right? That is the level of commitment it takes. The truth. That's why I have a brother that was calling me recently that he wants to market what I do. I said, yeah, but just make sure everything I say, no editing. No editing. Because I've seen it. Well, the Buddha, up to today, still thousands of years. People have tried to cheat, but it's difficult. It says they're non-violence. It's difficult to justify violence when it says non-violence. How else are you going to say, I'm going to go to war for non-violence? Doesn't make sense. Christianity, you call it holy war. Holy war. Is war. If war can be holy, then what else is it's unholy? Americans sometimes make me laugh. They talk about war like some kind of movie they've seen from a movie theater. Like, oh yeah, we gotta go. I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. Those who have been in battle. That's why some of the most peaceful people are butchers, or people who work in the war. The whole generals. They never want it. They've seen it. It is the younger generation who think they don't know what they're talking about. Talk to an old general. You throw up after they describe. You'll be like, what? Murder, blood, arms, legs flying. What do people think it is? Especially in the old way of the sword. People think it's a joke. Limbs flying. The whole place full of arms. Yes, 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 yes. And then the modern machinery, entire town's burned. And people are thinking this is funny. No. Anyway, I gotta bring it home now because I don't want this to be too long. This is probably my last video. I was gonna make maybe one short one after this. But I just wanted to clear the ground so that people don't think, oh, this is the prodigal son. Let's all just say we are all prodigal sons and daughters. And nothing to be ashamed of. Because to leave home is how you value it. Huh? It's not because you ever left, but it's almost like you're dreaming. That's what life is. You're dreaming. And then you're like, oh, wow, this is so good. You will never leave it again because now, precious. So the game has been worth it. One of my favorite songs, and I'll say this maybe in closing, I love telling stories because stories give more truth than pure facts. Think about it. I was watching this cartoon. Being a mystic, many things I didn't know until I studied psychology. Like, oh, no wonder. Oh my goodness, no wonder. I'm a philosopher. You see, everybody has their personality. Part of why my joy now is to because it can make your life easier. You can accept yourself more. Otherwise, you want to be like this, or that. No, be yourself, and be put that things, but mainly yourself. And I heard the song, and I couldn't stop crying. I was probably 8, and now I understand it. I was like, why am I crying? And I never said this in public because I was alone by myself. But many things I'm going to speak of. And the song, see, maybe I'll still cry, is, wow. To me, that's a song of the soul. It's like to me, it's poetry of the soul. That song to me is not just some child. And the song goes, let me drink a little bit. My voice is a little hoarse. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. I was a concern about this pig that was just suffering so much, and I've always been a little, if you can say too sensitive, I'll accept it, but very sensitive, very soft, even though I look tough. And I was like crying, but it's like, oh, that's why, because that touched my heart and soul, because it's a dream. It really is. When I say it's a dream, I don't want us to then start saying this doesn't exist, because that's what some non-dual teachers do in the West, and it makes me weep and cry. Because they have many followers, unfortunately, but that's not my business. They call it non-dualism, whatever the word they call it. This doesn't exist. It's not an illusion. I'm like, what a dangerous teaching. That's dangerous. It's half truth, and half truth is always dangerous, because the other side has to be spoken. So I always like, that's why people sometimes they will say, Lua, you're so what's the word, contradictory. I have to be contradictory, because I'm doing something that is virtually impossible, but it has to be attempted. Look at things from many angles, because each angle sounds different, but if you can be with me in present, you see there's a wholeness to it. Yes, it's true. It's a dream. We're imagining it. We are all gods and goddesses. We are not. It's just how we are. We are all universes. But if you deny it, you'll be stuck in it. What a game we've all chosen to play. What a game. And I'm very grateful to the universe, my parents, and for all the circumstances all the circumstances that has really, my teachers, they're great. Oh, Leonard Jacobson, Osho, Zen, all of you, seen and unseen. I'm grateful, because this is very important to realize both. Because if I look at this glass, or my beloved, or a flower, and I say you don't exist, you know what I just did? I have destroyed that thing, and very soon I will destroy it physically. See, that's how we became violent. We disrespect each other. People all day, there's so much religion out there. How come there's still so much violence? Because religions teach half. You have to teach both. They're going to call you contradictory and lie. It's worth it. Do both. Because then you have a message, a whole robust message. Truth. On one level, yes, this is just imagine. This is like almost like a holographic stuff. I'm imagining that I'm holding this. That's true. I rarely teach this in public because it's dangerous. People that are very intellectual type, they start gathering around. They're like, wow, Lua, you do find truth? And they'll be like, tell us. And I'll be like, yes. And then they'll come around and they're going to think, yes, Bible doesn't exist. Then they start denying their own body. They start fasting. They start not eating. Because if you say this doesn't exist, then the body doesn't exist. And now you are insulting the universe. We cannot afford to insult the universe. Because on some level, they are real. It's so hard to explain. Mystics, you get experiences as you meditate. Even though on one hand, this is just a bottle. Ah, yes. But also exists. Why does he have both? I don't know. Every mystic has to be honest and say, I don't know. Honestly. But you know it's true. Maybe I do know, but I don't know how to say it. Maybe that's more accurate. I don't know. But how do you express that? To say this, I guess maybe a way to express. Let me try this method. Maybe this might make sense. Imagine you're in a dream, and you are like saying this dream is not real. This dream is not real. Suddenly you are waking, or you become what is called a lucid dreamer. Unfortunately, some people they say that's the goal of the spiritual journey. No, Very dangerous, actually. Very dangerous. Such a woman or man who has attained that level of lucid dreaming, they can be trying to control reality. Remember, now they've been able to awake out of the dream that everybody sleeps in. And we go at night, we just sleep, we dream. They now can see I'm dreaming. If somebody can do that, then they can also look at life. Make sense? Some of these yogis, they can look at it. Oh, so they can say this is an animal. Even though it's a TV, animal will appear there. I'm going to the extreme. You get my point. You like start messing with things. How some of these yogis make error. That's why when people say Jesus was making, I'm like, no real mystic would do that stupidity. How would you want to break the universal law to show off? Ah, oh my goodness, that shows the young initiates, the new ones. Yeah, they'll learn. They'll learn not to mess with creation. Leave it alone. Leave it as it is. A bigger intelligence is in charge. That's why I always tell people that after awakening is surrender. Surrender is the real journey, in my own experience. Okay, and I'm sure that mystics would agree. As you grow, begins the universe. Wow, existence. At a point, you wouldn't even have any goal anymore because you know universe knows where you're going. But I don't have to share that either because people will lose their goal. I mean, I don't have to have goals. No, have goals until you don't have to have goals. Don't try it prematurely. You will just become a floating stick. Float away. No, have goals. I'm very much for having goals. I have goals. I like goals. It's very handy. I work towards goals. But I know people that don't have. They just float. And people start. I've seen people in the West, in the spiritual people, they're doing it, and I'm like, they're making a mistake from my perspective. They just go. They don't work. Often, when they work a little, just I'm like, Lord, you're gonna regret this. Probably because they're not settled. It doesn't mean you're gonna get married. I'm not married. I don't have any child. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. That's up to the universe. But they don't know how to relax and be ordinary. Ordinary. Yeah, relax. Be ordinary. When I mean ordinary, is if you want to know, look at a child. When I say ordinary, don't think of stupidity. People think it's stupidity. No, simplicity. Look at a child. I've never met a child who's not intelligent. I've never. I mean, my niece, 6 years old. Oh my goodness, what a genius! The things she says, every child is intelligent because they don't have a lot of the yet conditioning. Conditioners make us stupid. People have superstitions that don't make sense. How do you believe this crap? But no, my grandparents told me that's what we do, and then you can think out of the box, so to speak, and the same thing gets passed down. In India. In India, for example, there's a class, Shudras, the darker one, the ones who actually were the original people in India. There's so much bullshit these days that, oh, it's not true. No, you can see it, it's fact. They've been enslaved, just like the darker skin people have been enslaved by the Aryans as they came through. These people, they are so enslaved. And guess how the Indians, I'm going to say this. Some people say don't say this because, I don't care. It has to be said. I've seen it with my own eye. A little bit. It's Indians. You know how the priest class, I will hammer the priests more than anybody else. They're the most dangerous species. But everybody looks up to them, and they're mostly liars. They're lying, deceitful, con men. They have to be called to it. Don't worry, they won't kill me. They can't kill anybody anymore. Because everybody knows that now. I'm not saying people just don't have the courage to say it. Everybody knows they're tricking you. These priests, they take advantage of these simple people. That's what they do all day long. Almost all religions. Almost. That's why I tell people that don't worry about the priest anymore. The time has gone. The time of, you had the Apollo temples. People go there and light. That's beautiful. That age comes again, sure. But right now, we're at the age of knowing. And many of us are here for that. The age of believing is gone. You can't just hold on to it, but just know it's old. Now it's about no. And knowing is not as difficult as people think. It just takes courage and simplicity. Like a child. Open, like you don't know anything. That's why if you look at people that have spontaneous spiritual experiences, they're often not the believers. I've read many books because believers think they know. The atheists, the agnostics, atheists may not know too because atheists always make me laugh. They're the most often very egotistical. There's no God. I'm like, how do you know? Well, I don't see any evidence. I'm like, well, Be honest. Be intelligent. Say, I don't know. So far, I don't know. Agnostics, I can live with. Then I don't know. Is there anything? So I don't know. Like here, maybe not. That I can respect. Because at least you open. Atheists, they're closed. They think they know it. That's worse. At least open yourself up. And then things can happen. It's openness and patience and relaxation. It takes trust. I'm not minimizing it. But when we are all born in that state, we just lose it. Time to wake up to it again. Time to wake up to it. So again, to open it back up, so to speak, to the beginning of the journey, because I like to do that, is about the prodigal son. We are all prodigal, but we are like fish inside water, dreaming there's no water around. And we're mean to each other, saying, I have to get more for myself because there's not enough. No, there's enough for all of us. We just have to learn to share. Why do we share? It's not by being a saint. Everyone knows I'm not a saint. But by being generous. When I say generous, I don't mean be stupid and give all your money away. That's stupidity. Extreme. Stupidity. In the middle. Share something. A little dollar. 10 cents. Give a little bit. 5 cents. People be like, I'm not going to give anything. You have hands and legs. And I'm like, how you so? I don't tell them because they get offended. But I'm thinking, oh man, just because the person has hands and legs. Do you know their story? You don't know. I don't have time to be asking everybody I want to give $5 or $2. Oh, let me hear your story. I don't have time. I just trust. Maybe there's a reason. Guess what? Universe will bless you. I don't mean waste all your money on charity. I'm practical, like I said. No, save your money, invest. Oh, $1, $2 there. 1 cent. Some people, that's all they want, and you like giving them examination questions. I'm like, wow, where's the generosity? If you ask for your paycheck, now that's problem. I understand if you say I don't think so, or your whole salary, but you're asking for like 2 cents, and you have it, and you're like, oh no. To me, but I don't judge anybody. I understand it. It's this fear, the fear, and the fear is because we've forgotten who we are. Let's come back home. Where's home? In the here now, in the open heart of Christ consciousness at the beginning of existence. We all are that. We are all the prodigal sons, and we are all welcome back home. Anytime, any moment. You're home. And the universe says, thank you. You've done what I sent you to earth to do. You don't have to go back anymore. You can join me now and enjoy with me. Enjoy with the universe. The universe is the ocean. And the more we can merge with her or him, begin to enjoy the whole of existence. But to be lost in the ego is to be stuck in one's own misery. But to expand beyond the ego is to join existence in this cosmic joke, in this blissful play that we all partake, my brothers and sisters. Each one of you, all of us, we are the universe playing. So humor, and let's create beauty, let's create abundance together. If you're going to be here, let's not be so spiritual that we forget about here. Let's create businesses. Let's invest in businesses. For the first time in my life, I'm really interested in business because that's a different story. Something happened a couple of years ago where my awakening entered the body. And I'm like, wow. Let's create this. Let's create business. It's time. And the time is here. You watch, borders are going to be open now. We are in a new age, literally, for abundance. Right now, it doesn't look like that. But if one wants to check on higher levels of consciousness, one can see what is happening to humanity. And then one can say, it's a great awakening, building. We are being shaken by mother so that we can remember who we are. And we think that the devils are winning. Mother will never allow them. We're here to claim the human race as members of the galaxy. That's our destiny. We'll do it. Even though I may not be here anymore, more than likely, by the time that happens, but let's do what we can towards creating that. Not because we live in the future, not because we lost in imagination, but because we know only from nothing can true beauty be created. So from presence, from peace, from love, we create a world truly deserving of being called the human experience. This is not poetry. This is not utopia. We've done it before. You remember in the Bible when they said there was a point when humans were one, when we were building the Tower of Babel. Let me tell you, my friends, let me explain to you what it is metaphorically. It means the time in Atlantis, we were one humans. And we knew we were one. And those who wanted to divide us, and it's still going on, broke us into groups of races and stuff. And we've never stopped fighting each other since then, unfortunately. But the time has come for us to wake up, to remember who we are as cousins, and never to fight any war again, and say we are one humans, just distant cousins of various colors and complexions. Towards this, am I here? And I hope, I really do hope that we all do our best. I'll do my best. You do your best. We all do our best. We're here. Thank you.